Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to rumble.com/JJW, where I am JJW and that is Deacon. And we talk about news and politics and media and culture and just whatever's happening in like internet or just whatever that is of interest to us that makes us laugh or giggle or angry or sad.
We don't get angry on the show.
Or sometimes we just talk about funny stories about doing dad stuff or being married. We're just a couple of normal guys. That you should subscribe to. Just hit the follow button. If you're watching this later, please, thanks for tuning in. I hope you stay for the show. We're going to talk about a lot of weird stuff today. This is one of those kind of cornucopia shows where like there's not exactly a theme in the news. There's just like, wow, okay, that's weird. So that's what we got today. And before we get into that, good morning, Deacon. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm going to have a seizure from the lightning background today.
Yeah. Is that too much? That's too much.
It's just
let's bring it down for a little bit. Surfing Santa is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I would be a little bit like dramatic because we got some bad news. If you well, I'll get to that in just a minute. How are you doing? And I had a kind of a funny story to tell.
All right. What's your funny story?
It goes like this. At about 5:15 or so, my watch alarm goes off, buzz, and I'm sleeping on my pillow like this, face down. I don't like to do face down, but I was face down, sleeping on my pillow. I push the little button, go to sleep thing. I can go a few more minutes, get some Z's. My wife reaches over, grabs the pillow from under my head and pulls it off. It just takes it away. And she says, "Where's my mask?" And I'm like, I don't know where your mask is. It's like, "Your phone's too bright." I don't even have my phone out. I was asleep. You just took my pillow. Oh,
is Jeremy or somebody? Is he going to grab this? If he's there, we have a stupid.
Hey, Jeremy,
again.
If you got there, we got a porn bot in the chat. Hey, SEX find XYZ. Thanks for stopping by. Before you get banned, can you leave a little like on the and get the fuck out? Okay, all right. So my wife just yanked the pillow out from under my head and then blamed me for. And she apologized later, but I was like, no, that's funny. I need to get up anyway. I got to come up with a title card for the show because I went to bed kind of like with this bad news, and I didn't exactly know what we were going to do the show about. I mean, I knew some of the story slate, but I didn't have a theme yet. So it's kind of funny. If you're married, sometimes weird news. That's in 17 years of marriage. That's never happened where she just decided to take my pillow out from under my head.
That's funny. No, that's good. It got you up though.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm up. No problem. I got stuff to do anyways. I gotta make stuff. How are you? How was your day? What's going on? Today's Tuesday. So you do rehearsals on
every day
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're rehearsing every day, and we do 3 shows on Friday and 1 on Saturday. I won't be here Friday.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to skip the show on Friday altogether. We're just not gonna be here on Friday because I gotta take my kids to the doctor, or one of my kids to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have a no Friday show.
Yeah,
but that's okay. We have enough of a catalog that if people want to just tune in at that time and just watch an old show.
Yeah. My first show starts at 8 a.m. We're doing back-to-back shows for elementary schools, like 400 or 500.
Oh, really? How long is the play?
It's like an hour. Like maybe
back to back. And how many are you doing?
4 altogether between the 2 days. We'll do 2 Friday morning, and then we will do 1 Friday evening, and then Saturday in the afternoon. I think. Yeah, Saturday at 1.
Are you having like dreams where you're doing the lines and you're blocking, nothing like that?
No. We're working on blocking. And on stage you got to know where to go and where to stand, I guess, with acting. And we're working on that right now, but we're working on putting the lights so that I would walk up and the guy that's running the lights, the person that's running the lights will be able to hit it's all computerized now. So if you do it one time, you can have the smart board remember it. So all you have to do is you get to that part and you hit one button and it brings up all the different lights for that scene, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. The technology is
Well,
really cool when it comes to that
that sounds cool.
behind the curtain stuff. So that's what we've been doing is working the blocking stuff. And last night it seemed like every one of us, there's like 7 of us actors, and it seemed like every one of us, we get up there and we're running the show with the lights, and every damn one of us forgot our lines, just certain lines on certain spot. And we all know our lines. We're just all just kind of standing there like, I forgot what this line.
Isn't it funny how that happens sometimes? And it's not just
Yeah.
acting, right? It's just like you can do something that you do every single day, and those neurons are like mapped in your brain, right? And then one day it can just be like, I'm doing the same thing I do literally every single day, and then you'd be like, I forgot everything.
Okay, so here in about 15 minutes, I do the news, and I record it before JJ and I record this show, do this show. So I'm recording the news. I'm busting my ass in here at this radio station early in the morning. So I recorded my news, and I say the same thing at the end of the news every day. All right, it's for local and area news, any time of the day, log on to blah, 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 blah. For news, sports, weather, and information, any time of the day, log on to blah, 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 blah.com. I say it every day, the same way every day. And it wasn't, I think it was like last week or the week before that I was just like, blah. And I just remember any of the words. I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I don't know what these words are that I do that all the time as I'm getting older. I don't know if this is an older dad thing or an older person thing, human thing, but I will look at Ashley. I'll be like, can you hand me that,
That's the word for that thing.
And she'll be like, pencil or remote or bread. It's something simple, it's like the pillow. I couldn't think of the word pillow. Yeah.
It's happening. My brain's deteriorating as we speak.
I know. I need coconut oil. All right.
They need to get that Alzheimer's medicine going now without the brain bleed.
Coconut oil is supposed to be good. That was one of the things I read years ago. Good for Alzheimer's.
Coconut tastes delicious unless you try to eat it raw, and then it tastes like soap. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the show today. This is rumble.com/JJW, and today is December the 6th, 2022. Today's episode is in honor of Kirstie Alley, and she has sadly departed and is now going to where everybody knows your name. Kirstie Alley died last night. It was announced on Twitter by her daughters, and like celebrity deaths are always kind of like a drag and a bummer, and like it's never good. But Kirstie Alley is someone I actually follow on Twitter, and I followed her for quite a while.
Oh,
and,
really?
She was a firebrand. I liked Kirstie Alley. She would take no shit from nobody, never. Like she was just here's some things.
She seemed like she was that kind of woman, though, from life.
She's like
her. And seeing her throughout the life, it seems like she's one of those. It's like, screw you, ass.
Well, I mean, like she would constantly get shit because people would be like, "Oh, you're overweight, you're old, you're a has-been, or whatever," and she'd be like, "Fuck you! What have you ever done?"
Yeah, yeah. And she lost a bunch of weight, and she'd gained a bunch of weight. Yeah. She lost a bunch of weight, she'd gained a bunch of weight. But let me tell you something right now, and I'm being the God's honest truth. If I've ever told the truth in my life, she was beautiful the whole time. Her heaviest, she was beautiful. I'm drop dead gorgeous. That's the one thing I hate about society that we live in today. This modern society is that we all have this warped sense of what we're supposed to look like, and if we don't look like that in our mind's eye, it affects our mental capacities and everything. And it's bullshit because we gave her shit when she gained all that weight. People gave her shit. She was beautiful, man. Drop dead gorgeous. That picture that you had of our faceplate, I was just looking at, just the picture that you had of her up there. She's so beautiful.
Here I'll pull it up again. I feel like she
Look how
deserved to
pretty she
have
is.
like this would have been in her prime, probably about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. In her older prime, she
Yeah,
was
that looks
still
like
like
when she lost all that
I mean,
weight and she was flaunting it
but
around.
nobody deserves to have the last memory be that people see of them be like you at your very end, and she was battling cancer.
Oh, I didn't
So
know.
I think she had and I don't know if it was breast cancer or lung cancer, but she had developed cancer suddenly, and it was only recently discovered. So that was not good. We all remember Kirsty, I'm sure from. I'm gonna take it down again. We all remember her from Cheers, and uh,
Look
you know,
who's talking.
yeah, look who's talking.
Big
The
baby.
series, probably a number of things. I remember her mostly from Cheers because
Cheers. Yeah.
when I was a kid, it aired live. It was on the air. It was sometimes, I guess, run in syndication, but I mean, like no, I said live, but like we watched it when it was on the air. And I
Right.
remember watching that with my
With my parents.
grandparents, with my
Yeah.
family. That's the way we did things back then.
Yeah. You
So,
sat in the floor and you farted around and
yeah,
colored or play with your Star Wars
yeah.
GI Joes, and they watched their
You
TV.
had
And you just kind of
you
paid
had
attention.
the TV guide, and you'd be like, oh, there's an episode of whatever on tonight. That's how you knew what
That's
to
why
go.
you. That's why you
Yeah.
got home from school and watched Scooby Doo and your cartoons, because they only aired, for 30 minutes to an hour every day.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
cool. And
you
you
better catch him,
on
or you're
Saturday
gonna wait
mornings.
till tomorrow or Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, it was. I remember watching Cheers, and even when the streaming services come back, I got into. I think it was on Netflix. All the Cheers were on Netflix, so I started turning it on and watching. And I got through a couple of seasons. I forgot how freaking funny that. What's her name? Danny DeVito's wife. What's her name?
oh, Rhea,
Rita.
Rita,
I know I can't think of her last name all of a sudden. That's the bread remote
neurons.
control.
You need some coconut oil.
Yeah, that's that coming in. But she was so hilarious on that show, man. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Sit back and watch that show now as an adult. It's great. I love going back and rewatching shows that I watched as a kid or movies that I watched as a kid now as
new
an adult,
perspective.
because it's a whole new movie. It's a
Yeah.
whole new movie. I am Clark Griswold, man. I am Clark from those movies. That's me. That's how
I'm
my
not
life goes.
gonna. Okay. So
Malcolm in the Middle is
what
one
I
that
was
we've
saying,
been rewatching, and I'm laughing
I
my ass off because I'm watching it from the
Rita
parents' perspective.
Perlman. Rita Perlman. My wife
Perlman.
was just talking about Rita Perlman the other day. She was like, "Did you know she's married to Danny DeVito?" And
Danny
I was like,
DeVito, they've
"Yeah."
been married for like 50
I was
years.
like, "Yeah." It's like, of course I knew that. What are you
They've
talking
been married
about?
forever. Yeah.
They've never not been married.
They've
They've
never
always
not
been
been
married.
married. Yeah, they've always been married.
Yeah. So the thing about Kirstie Alley's character on Cheers that I remember, maybe it's not accurate, but this is the way I remember it. There was Sam and Diane, and those two could just never get it together. And
And
then
Diane was
Kirstie
Shelley
came in.
Long.
Yeah, Shelley
Diane was
Long.
Shelley
Okay.
Long.
I don't know
And
if she's still around or not.
I don't know if Shelley Long's still alive either, but
But
who
but
was
Q,
Kirstie Alley's
Q
character's name?
well, I don't remember her character's name, but I remember that her character came into the bar. I don't know if she was kind of a part owner or something like that, but she added this third wheel to this, kind of like these two couldn't get it together. And then there was always this like, well, maybe Sam will date, Kirstie Alley's character. And, and it was fascinating tension all the time, all the time. So anyway, that's a great
My brain,
show. And
my
Kirstie
brain's
was a
not
great,
even working to be able to freaking pull this up today.
just type cheers.
I'm trying. Rebecca Howe.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what her name was because that was
Yeah.
Kirstie Alley.
You remember
Now
Sam and
Kirstie,
Diane. You didn't remember Rebecca.
yeah, I remember saying. I feel like that's a song or something.
It's in John Mellencamp.
Shelley Long is still alive, according to David, Mr. Beckham.
No, that's not Sam and Diane. It's
Beckham.
Jack and Diane.
Jack and Diane. Well, why am I saying
Oh,
Sam?
my brain is
whatever.
not
It doesn't.
working
It doesn't
right.
matter. Look, it's been 35 years since I've watched the show. Okay, so Now, Kirstie Alley was a Scientologist, as far as I know, and she would constantly get attacks from people on the internet being like, "You believe crazy stuff," and I guess she did. I don't know, but she would always push back, and she would still always be like, "I'm not taking any shit from you." So I don't know, I don't know what that means in terms of ultimate anything, but I think that she believed that, but I know that she would always not take attacks from people based on what she believed or anything else. She also was a big patriot and loved the country, and she was a big supporter of Donald Trump. And all of those things I gleaned just from watching her on Twitter, and she would post, I think, pictures of her grandkids or, just, funny stuff or tell stories. And she also had a podcast. I think it was Kirstie Alley on The Verge. So for all these things, Kirstie Alley was a milestone in entertainment in Hollywood, did so many things, lived a tremendous life. And, I am personally sad to see her go. So that's what I really wanted to say about Kirstie Alley.
All righty.
Okay. Oh, blah. Now let's have some fun. Let's talk about stuff that we see on Twitter. Deacon, yesterday.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm going to talk about this.
Oh, yes. We're going directly into this.
I'll get my coffee before you do this.
I was messing around on Twitter yesterday, as you do, because I'm like, Elon, where's episode 2 of the Twitter files? I gotta know who's got them. Is it Matt Taibbi? Is it Barry Weiss? I gotta know. And so then nothing for me. And I'm posted a bunch of memes yesterday. I spent some time yesterday using Chat GPT, which is an AI thing, making it generate Christmas movie scripts that were pretty great. And I was like, oh my God, I could be making movies right now. I could get it to pitch movies and stuff. So I was on Twitter quite a bit yesterday, and I ran into Joe Rogan on Twitter, an old post. I don't know how I ended up on his page because he doesn't really tweet all that often, but I was over there and I scrolled through his feed real quick and I saw this. It says, this is a retweet from Joe Rogan. Could you be trans? And I said, I guess there's some more stuff I don't know about the internet. Let me look and see what this says. Jennifer was born a woman, but identifies as a trans woman, a person born a man who identifies as a woman. Jennifer and others like her are part of the growing trans community. And I read that, and then my brain was like, I don't understand what I just read.
Okay, so that's enough internet for today. See y'all later.
Jennifer's trans.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't even have any idea.
Surely to God, this is a joke. This is a huge joke.
This is a for real retweet from Joe Rogan.
It might be a real retweet, but surely to God, this is a hilarious little watch this.
the makeup here.
I'm subscribed. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. There's a person on Twitter that if you're not subscribed to, it's hilarious. The person is Ann Lesby, PhD. Okay,
really?
It's a parody account, and it's the funniest thing that you'll ever. Ann Lesby, PhD, and it's a picture of a woman that looks like what's her name?
You're gonna have to send me a link or something. I can't find it. I'm getting just nothing but a rubber chicken over there.
No, you will, yeah, because she's gotten huge. Okay.
So,
you know what?
There's another one, Tatiana McGrath. If you like parody accounts, there's Tatiana McGrath, and Tatiana McGrath constantly tricks people into thinking that she's like a super woke, super woke, like hard advocate, and constantly people are like retweeting her and then be like, "You're so dumb," and it's like jokes on you, dumb.
Same thing, and they say, well, they just give PhDs to anybody these days and stuff like that. It's the same thing. And I'll tell you what I'll do. You'll like this. Look, folks. JJ will really like this, folks. Watch this. If you will subscribe and go to our Discord server, I'll post all the Twitter links in there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely do that. Check the description below. There's a link to our FUNSLINGER Discord server, and you can join, and we're in there all day long, constantly. We're posting stuff that we're
I'm in
not
there
going to
right
put on the
now.
show.
I'm in
Yeah,
there right
yeah.
now.
We're not
Just
putting
don't
stuff on
know
the
it.
show on there. There's memes, there's cooking, there's all kinds of stuff. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let me move on to the next thing. So I just wanted to let you know it. What if you're Deacon? What if you're a man, a trans man,
I don't.
a man that identifies as a woman, identifying as a man?
Ooh, that could be possible. So it's a man identifying
That's
as a man who identifies as a woman who identifies as a man. So it's a man who
right.
identifies as a man who identifies as a woman who identifies as a man.
I think you can infinitely nest this. And I think the more times that you nest it, the higher up the privilege stack you get to go.
The higher
So,
up on the privilege stack you get to go, but the more you nest it, the lower your IQ becomes.
yeah, but I mean, look, if you're already low enough that like that doesn't matter, you should at
Doesn't
least
matter.
climb the
You're
ladder of the
right.
privilege
Once you get
stack.
to you're right. Once you get to a
Yeah.
certain number on the IQ scale, it just really doesn't matter what that number is anymore. You're exactly right. That's pretty funny.
It's like you could treat it like camouflage too. Okay, Deacon, because like as this world increasingly becomes something very different than you imagined growing up, you may need to hide yourself so that you are not, picked out as the old man, the old guard, the powers that be, something like that. So you could wrap yourself a little bit in camouflage, and then survive a little longer. Oh, what's Deacon got over there on his phone?
I was posting the link to that Twitter person that I just said
Yeah.
in Lesby so that you could go. And our buddy Brian Perkins has already posted a screenshot
Oh my
of
god.
because like this is one of the
Hold on, here it is. Let me get.
you're gonna put it
let
up.
me get. Yeah,
That's a good one. I voted on that one too. I remember that one
was
coming
that?
through the other day. I voted on that quiz. Did you see that
Um,
quiz?
she has a lot of these. There it is. I found it. This is from November 25th. Here we go. This is a screen. This is the thing that he was the screenshot. From Ann Lesby, PhD, she, her. Biological males cannot be women. Disagree. I'm a Nazi. Wow.
I mean, you just need to go through her account and
Yeah.
find a post
Oh,
that is pretty nasty, and that's poking on
I'm
purpose,
following her. I'm
and
I'm
then
on.
and then go down the comments and read the comments because most of the people in there know that it's just fake, but
It's better to be cheated on by an ally than find happiness with a bigot. Okay. I'm in. I'm following her. She's funny.
she's great.
Okay.
And I told Ashley, I was like, wouldn't it
Wait,
be
she,
great?
her. It is a she. It's a
Yeah.
she.
I told
Okay.
Ashley, I said, wouldn't it be great if if that person behind that is somebody like Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro or somebody like that? That would be great.
All right. Let's see. We got more interesting Twitter news. Check this out. I'm happy about this. Elon Musk is expected to expand Twitter operations in Texas, possibly a dual headquarters. If you want to move the headquarters to Texas, I think it would play into the idea that Twitter has gone far from being left wing to right wing, which is not the case. Before and after billionaire Elon Musk acquired the social media company Twitter, he had been invited by Texas Governor Greg Abbott and others to relocate to the Lone Star State, and he has not committed to doing so, but he said setting up a dual headquarters was more likely, according to a report. Well, I think Elon is based out of Austin now, and with Tesla. I think it's Tesla. So it would make a lot more sense in terms of logistics for him to travel to be, in the same city, going around to between Tesla and Twitter, and then maybe Starlink. I think he has Starlink. So, I mean, not Starlink, SpaceX, because they probably launch out of Texas somewhere. if we want to move to, let's see, I already read that. Let's see. This would be, I think this has to do with like taxes, though. I'm pretty sure this has to do with
Yeah,
California taxes,
but
just
you're
like
right.
being punishing.
Yeah,
And, you know,
yeah, but you're 100%.
why pay for all the real estate in California when you can fire all those people that don't do anything? Just come to Texas. So that could be happening. Don't know how that will be playing out necessarily, but it's expected. You know, Elon Musk has received like uh, death threats and like significant like risks to his life since dropping the Twitter files.
Oh, really?
He and he announced yesterday that he would no longer be doing public signings, like autographs and things like that, because it's literally too dangerous for him. He is in probably
Really?
like quite a bit of trouble. Oh yeah.
Well, you wouldn't
Well,
think.
yeah,
I mean, think the richest man in the world is going to have the best security team in the world with the
I
top of the line technology.
I
Okay.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so because no, I mean, one, there's like you have the possibility that we have like nefarious political actors or nefarious
Oh, there's not a
spooks
possibility.
out
There
there,
absolutely is that. Yeah.
right? And then on top of that, you got just nut jobs that are just think like some weirdo in his mom's basement or in his attic or something like, oh, if I
It's,
take out Elon Musk, then
if he
then
kills a
they're gonna
politician,
give me
then
rewards.
yeah, if he kills a politician, then an actress is going to like him.
Yeah,
Nut
right.
job
You got
like that.
so you got legitimate evil bad state actors and crazy people out there, and who knows what else is in between. Um, so
Well, we're talking
Elon's
about.
taking a lot of.
I was going to let you finish.
Well, it's just Elon's soaking a lot of attention and a lot of a lot of risk right now.
I hate our little delay here. Our delay messes us up more than anything because it's really like a 3 second delay. I can hear myself when I sometimes when you've got it up. I can hear when I say my words, and it's like when I say my words.
That's
There's
strange.
there's like a couple of seconds delay between us. I can hear it.
I don't perceive that quite as much as you do. I'm sorry about that.
He Elon, yeah, because it really looks like I'm like I talk over you all the time, and it's really it hits you differently than when I actually say it. It's weird. Anyway, what I was saying is Elon, yeah, he's the richest man in the world. Surely to God that if he's saying something like he's stopping these signings and stuff like that, you would think that that's some credible threats have come in. And if they are
I
credible threats, then what he's doing has to be pissing somebody off to the point, you got to keep going down
oh
the trail here. Why is this happening? Well, this is happening because of this. Well, why? Because of this. Well, why? Because of this. Well, why? Because of this. You got to keep asking why.
Elon's I mean, I would imagine he has personal security, but he also seems like one of those guys that would be like, "Nah, it's fine. I don't need it."
No, I don't
He
think so.
acts like that.
No, no, it's one way to put on a persona that I'm untouchable or I don't need it. I'm cool, but you've got other people behind
And
you saying
the
you can act
reality
that
is,
way, but that's fine. You're not going to fucking be that way. You paid me to protect you, so I'm going to protect you. And part of protecting you is quit saying stupid shit. You're not doing any book signings.
right.
If I was paid to protect the richest person in the world, I'm going to protect them whether they're my boss or not. I've told my boss here at the radio stations when they come into the radio studio and start talking to me and whatnot. I told my boss one time, I was like, the main boss, I was like, you're gonna have to leave. I've got to go on the air and you're distracting me. He paid me to do a job, you know?
Yeah, right.
So here I got to do my job right now, actually.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Get on the mic himself? Come on, he can't do that. Okay, so we all need to just kind of keep our eye on Elon, make sure that he's okay, because he's the only guy out there that's fighting for like. I'm a little critical. Let me just say this: I'm a little critical of Elon right now too. I am I think that Elon's doing as good a job as he can within his framework of the world, which is he bought Twitter. He took a tremendous debt to do this. They're bleeding money. It's not profitable. It's been ground into the ground in terms of finances because like the people that owned Twitter before put the a value of controlling the narrative, way above fiscal responsibility and being, profitable or anything like that. So Elon is not only exposing the secrets, exposing the influence that Twitter wielded to suppress news and basically in electioneering. He's not only exposing that, he's also trying to make it profitable at the same time. Advertisers are fleeing because the woke mob is you know berating them on Twitter and other social media out platforms. So advertisers have to pull out for a little while till they can till the ship steadies and then it's safe to get back in. And he's also trying to Elon is also attempting to convince like normie normals like me, like, oh, would you pay $8 a month for a check mark and extra features and stuff like that. So he's trying to make it a profitable platform. I'm not paying, but at the same time, it's under all various different kinds of attacks. So with all of those things being true, I still am kind of critical of his rather arbitrary banning of Kanye for not violating the terms of service. Which the biggest problem I have with that is that Elon said he was going to be for free speech, and in fact he was not for free speech when he didn't like what Kanye was saying. I don't really like what Kanye was saying, but I want people like Kanye to be able to publicly say crazy shit because that's the best way for us to know that someone's crazy is if they're like able to just say crazy stuff like I like Hitler or something like that. So let him say it and then everybody can be like, "Oh, Kanye's crazy," instead of like, "Oh, we don't really know what Kanye's saying because now he's banned." So,
Oh, and
I'm not for that stuff.
somebody brought up a point yesterday too. That's like Kim Kardashian has to at least apply, have some of those values because she was with him for a while. It's not like people completely, you know what I mean? As somebody that's been in a relationship, you and your wife are the same, but you're different.
Right.
So she had to have some.
That's okay. Yeah. Hey, she rode that bus for like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, however long. So like wherever he was, that's where she was too. I don't know. I don't care about Kim Kardashian. Okay, let's talk about something else. We got some other stuff. Surprising no one, it seems that hundreds of thousands have lost faith in Disney's Star Wars. On it, what? Hold on. No, duh. No, 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 no. Listen, guys. Listen. In a census in 2001, aka the era of prequels, and in 2011, 10 years later, hundreds of thousands of people declared their religious affiliation as Jedi in a reference to Jedi Knights from the Star Wars franchise. The Jedi Knight religion emerged in official statistics in 2001 following an email chain aimed at convincing 10,000 people to join a Star Wars warrior group, and it worked. In the UK's 2001 census, 390,000 people described themselves as Jedi. As a result, the Office for National Statistics officially recognized Jedi Knight as its own category in their religious data. But according to the United Kingdom's most recent results, the Jedi Order has declined from 176,000 10 years ago to less than 1,600.
Kathleen Kennedy killed the Jedi.
She has done what Emperor Palpatine could not.
She single-handedly killed the fucking Jedi.
Yes, she did. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody gives a shit about the Jedi. And when those movies were being released and whatnot, one of the rumors going around before all those movies got released, one of the movie rumors going around was that there was going to be a gray Jedi, that Rey and what's his name were going to not be good and bad. They were going to, white and black. They were going to be gray. or they held some of these values, but they had some of
Right.
these as well, and they was going to walk the line, and that was going to be
Oh,
the new Jedi. And of course, that did not happen. We had Emperor Palpatine had a secret fucking army that was 7 times bigger than the original shit that he had planned. And he had all these people hiding and all these superstar destroyers and all this shit. Just snapped his fingers and it was there like he's
yeah.
omnipotent.
He did it. He copy pasted his rebel
Control
fleet.
C, Control V. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
that's what he did. Okay, so yeah,
Oh,
I just wanted to.
I wanted to bring that up. Right at the bottom of that page was that David Harbour Christmas movie.
Oh, that's on my list.
Dude, okay, so dude that I act with saw that movie and
Let's
raved.
go there.
All I'm going to
Let's
do is
go
say
there.
raved.
So I have the trailer. Have you seen the trailer? Oh, he's on. He's off. We're getting there. That's on my list. That's on my Christmas list, actually. My Christmas movie list. We'll get to that in just. Let's see. Don't have a good way to segue to this story, and it's not that important. So we'll just go over to Violent Night. Let's see it. Here we go.
Did you ask me a
Deacon, have you?
question? Oh, okay.
Well, have you seen the trailer for Violent Night?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna just turn it down. I'll just turn it down and play it in the background. So this looks super fun. I in fact, it looks so good that I think I'm gonna put it on my Christmas movie list, which I've got running over on IMDb or whatever. Oops. I added a couple movies yesterday. I added Gremlins and the long, no, not the Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah, the Long Kiss Goodnight. So
We decided that you could have.
anyway, this violent. I'm gonna turn it all the way down. This Violent Night movie. This looks pretty funny. It kind of looks cheap. John Leguizamo seems a little bit hammy.
You would think that that's what he said. He said you expect some campiness, but it's really kind of it works. And
It kind of seems like Die Hard, except like discount. You know, Die Hard in a Santa suit. And
but he's the real Santa.
right,
Like
yeah.
he's the real Santa
Yeah.
from before the Viking legends or whatnot.
It's kind of got the style or tone of Fat Man. Did you ever watch Fat Man? Fat Man
No.
was the Mel Gibson one. Mel Gibson one was great.
No.
It doesn't seem as good as that, but
The best
does
Santa
seem kind of.
Claus movie, in my opinion, is Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton's Santa Claus. You just
I haven't seen that since the theater. I remember it being rather filthy.
Oh my God. It's not rather filthy. It's good God. I'm going
I
to
do
hell
remember.
watching
I
this.
do
thing.
remember the little elf dude getting like hit by a car. Like, I think he got.
Let me
backed
tell you a
into
funny
by
story. I
car.
think it was Bad Santa. I really do. Was the movie that my parents decided they were going to go together and have this nice little Christmas time and enjoy the season together and go to the mall. And they went to the movies and they were wanting to watch a Christmas movie together. My parents, who at the time were in their 60s and, a little older couple, and they get tickets to go see the Bad Santa movie because they thought it was going to be a cute little Christmas movie. And I was like, it said bad in the title. And Dad was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. The words that man was saying. Good God Almighty, that was the filthiest movie I ever seen in my life. And my stepmother was like beside herself. I can't believe she didn't burst into flames from watching that movie, And I was like, I can't believe y'all went to the movies.
I mean,
that's one of the funniest stories that we like to
it
tell.
was rated R.
Remember when Dad and them went and seen Bad Santa in the movies?
So this story was up on Bleeding Fool yesterday. That Schlock horror overperforms as Disney underperforms at box office. So not only
Everybody loves
did
David Harbour, he can't do any wrong.
he can't. He was Red Guardian
He
in
was.
Black
That's
Widow,
what
which
I was
was
just
an
fixing to
otherwise
say.
pretty awful movie, but he was great.
He made the Red Guardian awesome, and we liked
Yeah, he
Fat
did.
Red Guardian. We were like, hell
Yes.
yeah!
He was like, I still fit in the suit.
And we
So
were like, hell yeah!
yes, that's awesome. So over the weekend, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, still in the theaters, took in $17 million. It opened at like $170 million. It's now been like 4 or 5 weeks. It's only taken in $17 million. Not very much for a AAA box office tentpole movie.
I wonder if there's some little schleppy show that's on Twitch and Rumble that maybe those two idiots hosts on there maybe predicted this one time.
Oh yeah,
Maybe. I mean, hypothetically speaking.
So while Black Panther: Wakanda Forever took in only like $17 million, the new movie from David Arbor, Violent Night, grabbed 13.3 million, but it was only projected to do $10 million. So it was projected to do 10 to 12. It did 13. It overperformed. And Black Panther underperformed. Black Panther has been underperforming this entire time. And they've pulled in about $400 million, which is about 40% less than the original Black Panther.
We're sick of superhero movies, and this is coming from somebody who's a comic book geek nerd.
Yeah.
I'm sick of watching superhero movies, man. And we were all invested for so long. They hooked us to a bunch of fucking 20 movie series before we could watch the very end. So we had to watch all these movies. You felt like you had to watch them all, but we learned now you don't have to watch them all. And
no, you can skip them.
And they're not very good anymore. And so, I mean, even as a comic book person, I don't want to watch I don't want to see Ironheart. I just don't care.
If no interest.
Cable, I will probably watch the Deadpool 3 movie just because that's hilarious.
For sure. That'll have jokes. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. I mean,
here's a tip. Here's a tip for Hollywood and Disney, especially. Make movies that are fun.
Well, I mean, the Violent Night movie is it's different. It's just a little we're not watching the same mess over and over and over and over again all the time.
Right. So David said he wanted to be a Jedi, and he also said, oh, okay, so we were talking about the Fat Man movie, the movies a minute ago. David, the Mel Gibson movie is Fat Man. It is great. That is on my Christmas movie list of being one of the best Christmas movies ever. It is so good. Even my wife likes it.
I liked it too.
It's fun. David Arbor was in Hellboy. Did you ever watch the David Arbor Hellboy movie, Deacon? Yeah, David Arbor took. He about 2 or 3, maybe it was 2017, 2018. David Arbor was cast as Hellboy, and he took over the franchise from Ron Perlman,
who's a disgusting human being. Every time you say his name, I have to add on that a little addendum. Ron Perlman is a disgusting human being.
He is pretty filthy, but he's a good actor. Sorry, that's fact.
He's an okay actor, but that does not make up for the fact that he is a disgusting person.
He is a pretty wretched guy. David Arbor did the Hellboy movie. The Hellboy movie kind of flopped. It kind of flopped pretty bad because the fans wanted Ron Perlman back and this Hellboy, and they wanted Guillermo del Toro back to direct Hellboy. But those movies weren't making enough money. It wasn't a good enough deal. Didn't make a lot of sense. The Hellboy movie David Arbor was in is actually a lot of fun. It's a good movie.
Hey, let me add this real quick before I forget. Guillermo del Toro, you won't be able to watch these because you don't have Netflix. But for folks out there that do have Netflix, he's got this show that's called The Cabinet of Curiosities, where he takes a bunch of little it's like a little Twilight Zone type episodes.
Oh, really?
Where they're one-shot episodes or things. And there's some of them are kind of gory, but some of them are really interesting, and some of them aren't all horror. It wasn't all gory. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But they're all directed by different people. And he directs like the first one or the last one or something. But they're all pretty good. It's called Cabinet of Curiosities. And so if you get a chance to check those out, they're worth watching if you're a Twilight Zone, Black Mirror fan. You like those TV shows like that. There's another one
I like monster movies, but I'm not. Oh, and I like Guillermo del Toro stuff. I like monster movies, but I don't really like gory stuff, like splashy. I don't really like
no,
that too
I'm not a
much.
big gory fan either.
Oh, David said that Black Adam has reportedly flopped financially. That is true. Black Adam is kind of a bomb. So I do this sometimes. I pull up the by the numbers. So production. So, and Jeremy mentions the production budget of Black Panther. We don't know if it made back enough money or not. The general rule of thumb, I'm sure, as you know, is that um, the marketing budget is about 50% of the production budget, and the production budget estimated on Wakanda Forever was like 200 million. So in order for it to even break even, it's got to do about 350 million domestically before it kind of breaks even. So it's probably made back its money. Wow, it hasn't even cracked 400 million. Wakanda Forever has not cracked 400 million.
Man,
Black Adam is also at the. I mean, this is evidence to me that you're right, Deacon. That we're tired of superhero movies, and we're especially tired of predictable, fare. So here's the Black Adam numbers. Black Adam has been out since October, and you see the dark yellow line. That is the earnings line. It was projected to make as much as 250 million, and it's pulled in 165 over 2.5 months. So underperforming for sure.
they all
Yeah, yeah. I don't have the full financials here, but
And
I
what's
bet
going
you
to
that.
happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen because of this. Everybody's sick of these superhero type movies and whatnot. That part of that is going to push Avatar the way of the water a little bit. It's not going to push it all the way up, and it's not going to make, a huge difference because that movie's unfortunately riding on the coattails of the other name, and there are people out there that's going to go watch it just because they're those type of people. They have to be the first and they have to do this that everybody else is doing. There's just those people out there. So, but I think this is going to the fact that people are sick of their only choices at the movies being superhero fairs. It's going to help push this Avatar movie and maybe the Indiana
I
Jones.
think so.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking that maybe people are just like, well, I don't really need to go to the movies because it's all on
And
Netflix or
as
HBO
much,
or whatever.
well, that's true.
VOD.
As much as I hate to say this, it's going to push the Dungeons and Dragons movie too, because the longer I've sat and waited about that movie, the more that I am completely opposed to that movie. I mean,
Oh, seriously? But it looks fun.
no, the Dungeons
But I won't
and
watch it in the theater. I won't
What
watch it in the theater.
what they're doing now is what Kathleen Kennedy did to Star Wars. Okay, they're realizing that they have a huge because of Stranger Things, help them propel their brand. They're trying to milk as much of it as they can by any way that they can. And yeah, they've tried to make Dungeons and Dragons movies before in the past and stuff, and this one's not gonna. I mean, it's gonna do the same thing as the other one. It's gonna have a big opening weekend, and then it's gonna completely flop. And it's just bastardizing a thing that I like.
I'm glad you're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Let's change topics. But I just want to say on the Black Adam movie, it looks like Black Adam cost 200 million and has made 165. So if you can math very much, that is not enough money to cover its production budget or its marketing budget. So that is a bomb. And we know that James Gunn Warner Brothers is now like, James Gunn, you're in charge of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
Change something. So we'll have to see what happens over there. Okay, so finally, after months of waiting, there was some interesting news on Dungeons and Dragons, Deacon. So I'm going to pull up this D&D story over from the D&D blog. Hold on, we got to do it like this way. Here we go. We have Dungeons and Dragons news. Here we go. Moving on from race in D&D. Now, I need translation. Yeah, it did take me a long time. I need translation, Deacon. I need you to explain to me what this means. Dungeons and Dragons has a history of evolving to meet the needs of our players and foster an inviting space for everyone. With that in mind, we understand race is a problematic term that has had prejudiced links between real people and fantasy peoples in the worlds of D&D. The usage of the term across D&D and other IP has evolved over time. Now it's time for the next evolution. So apparently,
let me tell you what happened. In
yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons a long time ago, you would have your different races, okay? You'd have your elves, your dwarves, your humans, and so on and so forth. And every one of
right.
the races has a positive and a negative, right?
Okay,
So
okay,
elves are leaner and thinner, and they are more agile, so you get a bonus to dexterity, you know,
okay,
and they're more agile than humans. So of course they would be able to zip out of the way a lot faster than a human would if you're firing an arrow at them. So they get a bonus to that. Whereas a dwarf is short and stocky and not as agile as an elf. So he might get a negative to his dexterity, but since he's short and stocky and is able to withstand a lot more than an elf would take one punch, whereas a dwarf would take 4 punches. So his constitution has a bonus to it. So you see, every race has a positive and a negative. That's what
right.
makes them different. Well,
Are
fast
they?
forward. Go ahead.
I have a question, but go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead with your question.
Well, the question, I mean, like, are they like biologically like separate different races, like very different, like humans and elves, or do they have common ancestral stock, or are
No,
they different?
just depends on what story that you're telling or what story that you
Okay.
use in the back. I mean, you could and say that they all come from one and one God made them all, or they all come from whatever your story, your fantasy story is. It can come from your brain, whatever you want it to be. Okay,
Oh,
in the Lord of the Rings versions of elves, they come from another place. But in some of the Dungeons and Dragons worlds, the elves were created, by a god, and they were created
oh,
separate. Or so it just depends on what story you're running. Okay, so this
okay,
is why
okay.
this kind of pisses all of us older guys off. So fast forward to that was the old style. Fast forward to modern day and all these people that are getting into Dungeons and Dragons because of Stranger Things and stuff. Yes. Are you asking a question?
No, what is that thing?
What is what thing?
This thing
Oh,
above
that's
me. What?
that's a beholder. Let me finish my thought or I'm going to
Yeah,
forget it.
yeah, yeah.
So what has happened is we fast forwarded to today's time and we've got all this racial crap that's going on and people that don't really understand what yeah, you're right, Sinister. I'll get into that. You don't understand what words mean. You change the meaning of words like we do today, like very badly. So what has happened is people don't like I want to play a dwarf that's agile and you don't he's got a minus to this dexterity. Well, I want to play an elf that is really really tough. Well, okay. In normal games, that's fine. We can adjust and do that. But they wanted the rules to reflect that. So they've changed all the rules and said, okay, you don't have to do this. One of the books that just come out said that you can be whatever you want. You can just make up whatever you want. If you want a human to do this or you want. So a lot of us old school guys were like, okay, we understand why you did that to kind of entice other people to play what they want, but that's taking the fun and the challenge out of the game. Part of the challenge of the game is okay, I'm going to play an elf that is not my guy in my current game is an elf. Okay. When we start a fight, I've been playing this character for 5 years. You want me to tell you the first thing I do when we start a fight, when we get into a fight, I can fly at will. I fly up about 40 feet to get out of the way because I have like 60 hit points. 2 hits and I'm dead. Whereas the barbarian, my buddy from Texas, who plays the barbarian, has like 160 hit points. And he takes the front line. So we all know our roles. I've picked this fragile character because I wanted to play this fragile character. I did not want to play a fighter that got out there on the
Okay,
front. I wanted to play someone in the back.
does this? Okay, so
What
this
has
race
happened
stuff.
is the word race is offensive to some people. Is that word
Okay,
offensive to you? It's these young people who have grown up and not learned anything in school. And now they're in their damn 20s and they're deciding that everything in the world offends them and that they're the main character of the whole fucking story of this world and that we
Uh-huh.
should all bend and do what they want. So, just as every other woke company in the America, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro decided we are going to appease these people and not offend anyone. So we're just going to take the word race away because that offends some people. And now we're calling them species. So you don't have a race and a class anymore in D&D. You
What's the
have
difference?
species. Exactly, JJ. Exactly.
What's
All
the
they
difference
did,
other than they're telling you can't use a word?
they took a fucking word away to appease some asshole who said that they were some little snowflake who said that they were offended by a word. They didn't say, grow some balls. Race is not offensive. It's been that way for years. And I know that's not an excuse. It's been that way for years, but that is not an offensive term. You can use it offensively with other
Well,
terms.
it seems like it makes sense that they would be called a different, like, okay, so first of all, species, this is a word that carries with it like semi-scientific
A
kind of
canine.
connotation.
I have two
Yeah,
canines in my house, and they're both two different species, but their
yeah,
races technically are canine. I have three felines that are different
yeah.
species.
I think that Dungeons and Dragons probably should have moved straight into scientific connotation for the names of the elves and the orcs and the
But
dingbats and the
there
whatever they
is
are.
kinda. With the elves, you've got dark elves, you've got moon elves, you've got the Silvestari. I mean, you've got all these different types of wood elves, and they all do different. They all get different bonuses and different, penalties, all kinds of stuff. And David in our chat was bringing up the Urukai. Yeah, I mean we couldn't use the Dungeons and Dragons. The Gary Gygax and them couldn't use Urukai when they created it, so they just called them orcs, and they got in trouble for using some of this crap. But yeah, there was a world, a D&D world. There's a bunch of different worlds that you can play in that are pre-made worlds, okay? And one of the worlds that came out in the 80s was called Planescape, and it was basically D&D in space. So you had these ships that could float and it could move through the planes of existence. So you would go through these planes of existence, which was space, basically out like outer space, and encounter all these different races and species that did things, and it was like D&D in space. So
Okay,
one of the new races that they had come up with in the 80s was called the Hadazee, and it was this monkey type race because you have these other you had
we
the
talked about that before,
yeah,
right? Didn't we
you
talk
had all
about that
these other
before?
races that
Didn't
resemble
that offend somebody?
it offended somebody. So they completely changed their backstory and all this because it was offensive to someone. Are you petting the blue dragon?
Yeah, it's a
This thing up here is a beholder. This thing is a classic D&D monster, and it is a very, very nasty freaking customer. Like you don't
oh
want to run into one. They will every one of those eyes on its eye stalks does some devastating ray. And it has
yeah.
this its main eye does this anti-magic field, so you can't cast magic around. I mean, it can completely wipe out your
It
party really quickly.
it looks
That's a
like it's
bad
mostly made out of face and teeth.
it floats, but it's a badass.
Huh.
It will take you down really
I
quickly.
don't really see room for a digestive system.
Mm,
So it might eat you, but like
it's gonna
there's no
poop
room
you
for
out
it to
real
poop you
quick.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fast. So
Yeah.
like I
It's
wouldn't
it's
worry
real
about it
quick.
too much. Uh,
So
so
that's my D&D rant. But let me tell
well,
you, and I will tell you, just like I have told a billion people before about D&D, and I've had people that have had a argumentative conversations with me about this. What I'm fixing to say, those books are not rule books. They are guide books. Do
Oh,
not approach them as rule books. If you approach them as rule books, you're going to have a lot of problems. They are rules, and we have to have a structure for the game. You have to have a structure, but we all need to remember that when you play this game, it's coming out of your head and my head and everyone's collective imaginations. So we you have to follow some sort of structure and some sort of rule system, but you can use them as a guide. And if something is not working or you want something to work a different way that the rules say, you can change
well,
it.
I am
And it's
looking
not
for an
real life.
opportunity to be offended, though. I think that you should embrace the genus species terminology to the point of annoyance publicly, to the point
You
where
just want to annoy people.
it's
I can see your little
hey,
Auntie
but
Matt
hey,
smile.
I got something else for you. I got a little extra something for you.
Okay.
Maybe you don't.
All right.
If you go over to the D&D website, you can have an
D&D Beyond?
adventure calendar, and you, sir, can get today's the 5th. You can get a free copy of the Monsters Compendium. Does that sound exciting?
No shit. I
And
can 11 monsters from Dragonlance.
yeah, whatever this is,
Yeah,
Monsters from Dragon. What? I don't know why it did that. That's strange. Oh, you can
11
see that.
monsters from
So
Dragonlance at no point. That's a little monsters compendium. Did I miss the other days? Can I get the other days?
yeah, you missed them. We'll have to check every day. You
Well,
better get this one too, because like the 5th was yesterday. So click the thing, and the 6th is, check this out. It's a 10% code for Dungeons and Dragons Trivial Pursuit. If there's ever a version of Trivial Pursuit that I would absolutely lose, it would be Dungeons and Dragons Trivial Pursuit.
oh, I would probably do very well on that.
Yeah, and there's also Dice Tower, Yahtzee Dice Tower,
Yeah.
D&D, and we got like a bunch more days to come, so maybe we'll check in on this every day. And
Okay, I
very
want
likely
the
I'll
other
forget.
shit that I missed.
Well, sorry about it. You should have been Dungeons and Dragons and Deaconing this month.
I Dungeons and Dragons and Deacon every damn day. That's a lot of D's.
Well, all right, guys, that's Dungeons and Dragons and Deacon. Well, maybe we'll be back tomorrow with that. I think that's all the news. We got any other news? Oh yeah, we got one more thing, and then we'll go, I guess. Yeah, we're on time.
Hurry up, God!
I know. Jesus, this show is very poorly managed. Very poorly managed. We need a producer. Hey, Democrats want to let 16-year-olds vote.
No shit,
Yes.
they do. That's the
Yes.
dumbest shit. We're ending on the clown world story of the day. Let's just let 8-year-olds vote. JJ, let your 2 daughters vote on what we should do in this country.
I do let them vote. I let my kids
8-year-olds
vote.
are so informed about.
Hey, didn't I let the kids vote the other day? What did I let them vote on? I think I let them vote on having you do something. Oh, I let them vote on her nail polish.
And that's why we have long.
The Democrats are trying to lower the legal voting age to 16, or in some cases younger, and it's gaining momentum nationwide, scoring legal victories while winning the support of lawmakers and activists on the political left. Now your 16 and 17-year-olds, they cannot be charged as an adult with a crime in many cases. They cannot buy alcohol. They cannot join the military. They cannot drive sometimes.
They can't clean up their fucking room is what they can't do. You want me to tell you what a 16 and 17-year-old can't do? Because how long do we have? I can give you a list of what 16 and 17-year-old can't do.
They very often cannot feed themselves.
Yes. And one of the fucking things that they don't need to be able to do is vote.
Yeah. Last thing that we need as a country.
You know how many 16 and 17-year-olds I have?
How many do you got? And how many of them would you trust with making decisions for your life? If you could not make any more decisions in your life, you couldn't choose your mortgage, you couldn't choose your health insurance, you couldn't choose, how to allocate public funds to, cover your side, get your sidewalk, anything at all. Budget.
With
ladies
that
and
kind of
gentlemen,
stuff-
hold
with
on.
That
No,
kind
no.
of stuff, I don't trust them. Not with that kind of
For
stuff.
for everyone out there
No, no.
advocating for 16 and 17-year-olds to vote, I challenge you to put a 16 and 17-year-old in charge of your family budget. Give them
For a month.
all of the access to
For 2
your
months.
to your
3
bank
months.
account.
Yeah, 3 months. Let them do it for 3 months. Because 1 month is just a little farce.
Yeah.
Do
No.
it for 3 months.
Sign your accounts over to them and allow them to manage your money for you.
My
Let's
God.
see how that goes.
Oh my God. My house would be taken away. They would be repossessing my car.
You'd be immediately impoverished, and they would have like a video game and a TV or something.
Yeah, there would be a brand new computer in my house, a brand new gaming system with 4 monitors.
And the heat would be
one
turned
set up
off.
this way. But the heat would be off, and the electricity and internet would be off. So it would be sitting there looking pretty in the dark.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
So, yes, anybody that says that 16 and 17-year-olds need to be able to vote, either A, they do not have children at all, or B, they haven't had a 16 and 17-year-old in 40 years. Those are the only two options.
We covered this story last week. Democrats don't have kids. Remember? I showed you the graph. Democrats, by age 30, 65% of Republicans have a child under the age of 18, right? And 10, 20, 30 years ago, that was the case for Democrats too. Today, 50%.
Look at these two comments that come up right back to back. I'm going to throw them back to back. Boom. There's the first one. All right.
What do you say? Oh.
Boom. There's the second one.
Bring back landowner only vote, and then bring back tiny government. Only landowners should be able to vote.
A lot of people don't agree with that.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I have an opinion about what you're talking about.
She don't like
children
that.
Voting?
No, landowner.
Only landowners.
You're a landowner. I gotta go. You're a landowner.
That's why you believe that.
No, it's more of like investment in the place where you make. Okay, Jeremy, you got me in trouble. And Jordan said it too. All right. Well, that's all we got this morning. I'm going to go advocate for, Deacon's being super quiet right now.
Deacon ain't said a word.
Yeah, Deacon ain't said a word. That's all we got this morning. Thanks for watching, showing up, everybody. We had a great time. If you haven't already, leave a like, leave a comment, share the show out there. We're not saying very, Deacon, I don't think we say things that are like super, super, like crazy, right? I don't think we're that far out there. I think we're pretty middle of the road. Would you say you're pretty moderate? I think I'm pretty moderate. My wife would not call me moderate though. My wife thinks I'm like some extremist.
I got to train, and I'm thinking I've got to talk here.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm pushing the button. We'll be back tomorrow with more fun and exciting news about this crazy world we live in. Bye, everybody.